What's up? What's going on, you guys? Wanted to give you guys a nice little, quick little video. I haven't been on here in a while. I'm in my car. I'm doing my thing. I'm about to actually go home and pick my little brother up from work. So before I get into it, he's actually about to get in the car. So before I get into it, I wanted to give you guys a quick little Avengers review and update and stuff. I mean, I seen it like 2 weeks ago. There were things that were in it. Oh, I know one of those mine. My man went and bought me burgers. He bought a burger for me. I know he got me one. So yeah, like for the Avengers Jiffy Mac and whatnot. I'm holding my phone and whatnot. Oh yeah,
it's spicy.
Spicy. He got me something spicy. Stomach gonna be hurting like a bitch tomorrow. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to give you guys a quick little synopsis of things and whatnot. My overall rundown. I love the movie. The movie was great. There are some things that need to be explained. I'm pretty sure they're coming in the future, but you know, it's not here nor there. Let's just enjoy the moment. Let's talk about Fat Thor. Fat Thor. The problem with a lot of people had a problem with it saying Fat Thor was the embodiment of a mental health problem or situation or anything like that. I personally didn't have a problem with it because the reality of it is the Fat Thor angle. It was pretty much, if you actually watch the movie, you pretty much see him go through a stage of grief that put him in real life depression. And like, he didn't know how to handle his failures. As a man, a lot of men have this problem. And for him to have this problem as a god, like, that was just crazy. Like, he real life had to deal with the fact that he failed at everything that he did. Like, he failed to kill Thanos, he failed to protect his people, he failed to protect his home, and by the end of it all, he was left with this makeshift world of Asgard. Like, I would probably be hurt. By the way, the thing that really didn't explain was where Valkyrie and them was at. I hope in the next movie, in a movie, it will tell us what happened and what went down with Tessa Thompson and the rest of them. Like, were they actually left floating in outer space, and did Thor bring them back down and just started that colony, or did Heimdall transport them before he transported his last person, which would be the Hulk? So like, I want to know more about that. That's what I'm confused about. Earlier I watched a review where they talked about Captain America creating alternate timelines with him going back in time and all that other good stuff. The only alternate timeline that I actually see right now could be a possibility is probably Loki stepping away with the Tesseract. That could be something. That could be a big thing and whatnot in the future. Maybe his way of getting back in the timeline, getting back into the main MCU timeline, is him locating Cap and stealing Cap's suit and traveling through Cap's, because I believe the suits themselves have pinpoint locations where they know where they're going and know how to navigate it, so they can get to the correct timeline, which I think would be dope if that was the case. Now, the timeline that the people said that Steve created was one without Thanos and all that. Yes, here's the thing. The version of Thanos that died would be the one from 2013, if I'm not mistaken. The unfortunate part about it is that the one that you have to think about it this way: that there's not just two timelines, where the Thanos that they killed was one that they killed, and then that Thor killed, and then the one that Tony killed is set in stone. Because then you got to think about the one right before they got there, because by them showing up there created another alternate timeline where they're there and then they're not. So he didn't actually come to the future. So you got to think about that Thanos that didn't actually get a chance to go to the future and attack them at all. So, like, that's probably where Doctor Strange said there's so many ways that this could go, because that's the situation that they were in. Like, them going back in time created a paradox, if you will, time paradox. Now, but before we get into that, the whole thing is, what I'm trying to say is that Cap didn't create multiple timelines. There was only really one that was created and that was actually by the Hulk smashing through that door and knocking the Infinity Stone into Loki's possession. But Cap, by him going back and returning all the stones, returning the hammer, there isn't even a Thor wandering around without that Mjolnir. Like, he has his Mjolnir. So like, and what's her name? She still has the she still had the ether in her and all that other good stuff. So like, you return everything. I think the only thing that really bothered me was like, and I thought it was funny to think about, like, did Cap really turn that stone back to give it back to Red Skull, like, or did he real life just sit there and look at Red Skull and was like on site? Like, was it on site with them two? Like that confused me. I'm like, I gotta see that story. Like, Cap meets Red Skull again. Oh, that's on site. Like, but the future that they said that he created, the ultimate future that he created, would have been one without Thanos, which would ultimately mean that Tony didn't die because of the snap, Scarlet didn't die because of the sacrifice, and all of them never got disintegrated, which means that you pretty much had a situation where everyone's alive, but all of them hate each other because of the Civil War. The thing is, what I said from that is, yeah, you got that version from the 2013 version that died, of Thanos that died. Yeah, you probably got that timeline, but you gotta navigate that timeline from that point, you know? So that's all there is to that. But as far as it all goes, there were two Steve Rogers walking around the entire time. That's what I've come to the conclusion, was that there were two Steve Rogers walking around the entire time. And what I'm getting out of it was the fact that Steve actually said to himself, okay, well, I'm going to avoid this, and this, and I'm gonna let the younger me do this. Because it's I feel like it's apparent that everything was what it was. And I'm pretty sure Peggy Carter knew about what was going on, but she real life just said, you know what, I'm not going to tell anybody. And then you got to realize she also had dementia by the time the young Steve met her. So, you know, you still got that situation and whatnot. So she had dementia, she had Alzheimer's, so she couldn't really remember who she was married to. She probably was married to the Steve Rogers of that past that went back in time, wasn't it? He probably didn't know. Steve had to get out of Dutch because Steve knew he was going to go see her as a young man. So you could see where that became a problem at. Now, I respect it. I like the whole thing, the whole idea that there was another Captain America walking around. And I'm pretty sure they was like, well, I can't give them my shield just yet until, you know, such and such. But this is a pretty dope idea. Scarlet Witch, I'm going to talk memes now, because Scarlet Witch isn't getting any kind of love and whatnot right now, like how Tony is for his snap and whatnot. Like, somebody do a montage for her, because she real life did that thing and whatnot, saved Hawkeye, left that man to his family. I'm like, yo, that was hurtful to see her go the way she did. But the only family she had was them. And she wanted to protect them so much that she died for it. And I loved all of it. Anyway, y'all guys, I want you guys to go ahead over there, like the review, see what's going on and whatnot. Like, it is what it is. I'm about to get out of here because my brother hungry. My brother trying to get home. And I got to go do some work. All right, y'all.